Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. 90-Day Fiancé. All the red flags in Bilal and Shaeeda's relationship. Bilal Hazzi's and Shaeeda Sween may look like the perfect 90-day fiancé pair in their photos together. But all it took was one episode for fans to spot the many red flags between them. 90-Day Fiancé returned to TLC with a new season and a newer set of red flags that are helping fans predict whether the couple will stay together. The 42-year-old father of two, Bilal, is a wealthy real estate agent and investor from Kansas City, Missouri, while Shaeeda, 37, is a yoga expert from Trinidad and Tobago. Bilal met Shaeeda through mutual friends and messaged him on social media. Bilal visited Shaeeda for 7 days in her country and came back to America as a spiritually married man. Bilal didn't see himself dating someone new after having stayed single for 7 years. Before meeting Shaeeda, Bilal was married to Shaeeda, and the couple had 2 kids together. Shaeeda is Bilal's client, and he took her advice when she asked him if Shaeeda is someone with bad intentions. She suspected Shaeeda may have seen Bilal flaunting his expensive lifestyle on social media, but he claimed that wasn't the case. Bilal said he was careful about what Shaeeda saw of his life in America because he even refused to show her his actual house by always video calling her with a white wall behind him. The first red flag in Bilal and Shaeeda's relationship is how close he is to his ex-wife. It was after meeting Shaeeda that Bilal thought of the prank he was going to play on Shaeeda and take her to his old childhood home instead of his current house. Bilal wants to know if Shaeeda loves him for who he is and not how much money he makes. He decided to pick Shaeeda up from the airport in a used and abused one and drive her to his former house on her first day in the States. Fans saw Bilal setting up these little tests for Shaeeda as a big red flag, and they think it explains why he's been single for so long after his marriage ended. Although Bilal revealed that while Shaeeda is coming to the U.S. to marry him, the couple already had a spiritual union, or a nikah, to ensure they could live together in America. Some feel if Bilal is already spiritually married to Shaeeda, he shouldn't have been testing his wife's motives. Others are calling Bilal out for spiritually marrying Shaeeda only to have sex with her. Bilal wants Shaeeda to be a bonus mom and not have kids of her own. He avoids discussing it with Shaeeda, but he told the camera, having more children is not like 100% no, but it's definitely not like a yes. Meanwhile, Bilal and his sister Nefertari discussed Shaeeda's red flags in detail. Shaeeda was engaged twice before, which seems to be a problem. Nefertari also feels that by 37, Shaeeda should have been out on her own. Bilal says Shaeeda was the one who called off her 2 engagements, but he didn't ask her why. Both Bilal and Shaeeda come with their own sets of baggage. However, they may have also learned from their mistakes. Bilal may have pranked Shaeeda by showing up in a beat-up van and having her stay in a less luxurious house, but he's also bought a lot of gifts for her, which she will get on her second day in the U.S. Instagram suggests that Bilal and Shaeeda are still together in America. Perhaps the red flags didn't bother Bilal or Shaeeda, but were only mentioned for the sake of making their 90-day fiancé journey controversial. In the world of 90-Day Fiancé, one of the most polarizing couples to grace the franchise has been Bilal Hazzi's and Shaeeda Sween. Their relationship has kept fans on the edge of their seats, with endless drama, misunderstandings, and a series of red flags that many viewers feel point to deeper issues. From Bilal's controlling tendencies to Shaeeda's struggles to assert her independence, the duo's journey is a masterclass in what happens when love and trust are constantly tested. Bilal's test and manipulation. Right from the start, Bilal raised eyebrows with his deceptive test on Shaeeda. When she arrived in the U.S., Instead of taking her to his luxurious home in Kansas City, he took her to his childhood home, which had been purposefully left rundown. His intention? To see if she was interested in him for who he was rather than for his money. This test felt manipulative and controlling. The fact that Bilal never discussed his plans with Shaeeda beforehand, coupled with her clear discomfort, set a troubling tone for their relationship. Many fans saw it as a major red flag, feeling that it showcased Bilal's need for control and power in the relationship. Trust, a cornerstone of any healthy relationship, was already shaky after this incident, and it only got worse from there. Shaeeda was understandably upset when she discovered the ruse, feeling belittled and betrayed. Instead of seeing this as an opportunity to rebuild trust, Bilal doubled down on his justification, saying it was for their benefit. This refusal to take responsibility for his actions is a pattern that recurs throughout their relationship, a telltale sign of deeper issues that would emerge as the season progressed. Bilal's need for control. Control seems to be a recurring theme in Bilal and Shaeeda's relationship. Throughout the series, Bilal's behavior often borders on overbearing. From dictating the terms of their prenuptial agreement to micromanaging nearly every aspect of their daily lives, Bilal's need for control is impossible to ignore. One major example of this is how he consistently talks down to Shaeeda, treating her more like a child than an equal partner. Fans have pointed out how Bilal's condescending attitude often leaves Shaeeda frustrated and silenced, preventing her from fully expressing her feelings. During arguments, he often uses his calm, almost clinical demeanor to deflect from the real issues at hand. Instead of addressing Shaeeda's concerns, he reverts to logic and rationality, dismissing her emotions as overreactions or misunderstandings. This dynamic is especially apparent in how Bilal navigates the topic of children. Shaeeda, who is nearing 40, has made it clear that she wants to start a family as soon as possible. But Bilal, a father of two, continually dodges the conversation, never giving her a straight answer. His vague promises and constant stalling show a disregard for Shaeeda's desires, suggesting that he's more focused on maintaining control over the situation rather than building a future that considers her needs. The prenup pressure. One of the most controversial aspects of Bilal and Shaeeda's relationship revolves around their prenuptial agreement. Bilal is adamant about protecting his assets, insisting on a prenup that heavily favors him. While it's not unusual for couples to have prenuptial agreements, the way Bilal approached the situation left a lot to be desired. Instead of having a mature, open discussion about their finances and future, Bilal essentially forced the prenup on Shaeeda with little room for negotiation. His attitude came across as dismissive of her concerns and her future, especially regarding the potential of starting a family. For Shaeeda, the prenup felt like a cold business transaction, one where she had little say in the matter, adding to her growing sense of unease. Fans were quick to call out Bilal for his high-handed approach, viewing the prenup as another example of his need to maintain control in the relationship. Rather than working together as a team, Bilal seems more concerned about protecting his interests, which further exacerbates the power imbalance between them. Shaeeda struggles with independence. While much of the focus has been on Bilal's controlling tendencies, it's also important to consider Shaeeda's role in the dynamic. Coming from Trinidad, she left her career, family, and sense of independence behind to be with Bilal. This has clearly taken a toll on her, as she grapples with adjusting to a new country and life. Shaeeda's attempts to assert her independence are often met with resistance from Bilal. One example of this is her desire to start her own yoga business, something she was passionate about back home. However, Bilal's lukewarm response to her ambitions makes it clear that he's not fully supportive of her dreams. Instead of encouraging her to pursue her goals, He seems more focused on keeping her dependent on him. This lack of support has left Shaeeda feeling trapped, unable to fully carve out a space for herself in the relationship. Her identity, once tied to her career and aspirations, is now overshadowed by Bilal's expectations and rules. Over time, this has led to growing resentment, with Shaeeda feeling increasingly isolated and stifled in the relationship. Communication breakdown. Another major red flag in Bilal and Shaeeda's relationship is their inability to communicate effectively. While Bilal often prides himself on being calm and collected, his communication style leaves little room for emotional honesty. Shaeeda, on the other hand, tends to bottle up her feelings, unsure of how to navigate the power dynamics in their relationship. This communication breakdown has led to countless arguments, with both parties feeling unheard and misunderstood. Rather than working together to resolve their issues, they often talk past each other, resulting in more tension and frustration. The lack of open, honest communication is perhaps one of the biggest indicators that the relationship is built on shaky ground. Without addressing their deeper issues, it's difficult to see how Bilal and Shaeeda can move forward in a healthy, constructive way. Conclusion: a relationship on the brink. While Bilal and Shaeeda have moments of love and connection, their relationship is riddled with red flags that cannot be ignored. From Bilal's controlling tendencies to Shaeeda's struggles for independence, the power imbalance between them is undeniable. The constant tests, manipulation, and lack of communication have left many fans questioning whether this couple has what it takes to build a future together. In the end, while 90 Day Fiancé fans can only watch from the sidelines, it's clear that without significant changes, Bilal and Shaeeda's relationship may be headed for more heartache than happiness. Only time will tell if they can overcome these challenges or if the red flags will continue to wave in their relationship's path.